Hey, everybody. Michelle is back on this what? On this Thursday, October the 19th, 2023, on the West Coast, on the east side of town. All right, now. So anyway, I've been having some issues uploading videos for some reason this morning. So like I started out with technical difficulties, but it's resolved now, so that's good. That's why it's so important to know how to do things and know how to fix things. You know, if you can, or at least attempt to figure it out. Looks like somebody just did they have their vehicle broken in? Oh, I don't know what that is. Or maybe he was just in a crash. Yeah, because they speed on this street. 2-lane highway, they speed. So, you know, if he was in a crash, I'm not surprised. But I probably should go downstairs to make sure my vehicle's not broken into. That's not funny. But anyway, I'm expecting somebody, and I've been waiting for him for a while, waiting for this person. And so now what I'm going to do is, I wonder what happened. So now what I'm going to do is just wait until, I'm going to go ahead and just talk a bit. And of course they'll show up while I'm talking, but I ain't re-recording nothing. How about that? Hope everybody's doing fantastic, magnificent, and marvelous, because I am. How about that? So I got a video that I'm attempting to upload. I've been, it's going up now. It's about a term that I'm introducing to people. It's a new term because it's not necessarily in the dictionary, but it was a term or personality or predisposition or whatever. What do they call it? It's under the what is it called? Melancholy. It's similar to melancholy. And I introduced that some time ago. Melancholy, where someone is, they're sad or depressed, gloomy, and they'll weigh you down. They'll weigh you down and drain all your energy if you're not aware of it. But, a lot of people have that. It's, like I said, similar to depression, and it's always gloomy and down, and, it's just melancholy. Shit. But there's another term that's being introduced, and this was introduced by Beam, Billy Meyer. Okay, and it's not in the dictionaries yet. Okay, well, it isn't. I just checked. But anyway, or maybe not in the dictionaries I'm looking in. How about that? Anyway, I wanted to come on through real quick while so many things, so many moving parts going on this morning for me. But I'm doing fantastic, though, nonetheless. Oh, and I just wanted to say some things. But anyway, that video is coming out in a few once it uploads. And it's might offend people. Or not offend people, but it might offend some people. It's not offending people, it's offending some people. And if as they say, if the shoe fits, what? Okay. Right. And so I just want to make it clear and effective. I am not going to be arguing back and forth with people on social media. Now, if you want to come in my face, which in 99.99% of the case, that doesn't happen. A lot of people just kind of back off, because they can talk all that kind of bullshit online because they're protected behind, these computers. And we have nobody usually knows where the hell they are. All right. So it might offend some. Hey, that's not my intentions, however. And sometimes you have to be harsh with people. And I don't bother anyone. Okay, I do not. But I'm not stupid either. And I know when people are poking bears, and I'm the bear. How about that today? But I wanted to talk about this, and I have been wanting to talk about this term for a while. But I said, let me let the dust settle. Hint, hint. I wanted to just let everything calm down a little bit and let people regain some groundedness, be grounded in reality, and snap out of it and get a grip, okay, and recognize what it means to disseminate, okay, recognize what that means. Okay, and one person cannot do it. How about that? So anyway, I wanted to come on through. I had a, what do you call it? Breakfast, lunch. I guess that's what you call it. Yes. And chances are I'll probably be eating again later, right? What? Yes. But so I wanted to come on through and say also, I put out a video and it was about I want to say something more about love. Okay, what I'm doing is for love. Okay, and also for universal love, the spreading of universal love. That's what it's all about for me. Now everybody else has their own agendas and their own theories and opinion. Yeah, sorry about those. Sorry about the lips, but hey, whatever. They'll clear up. I remember when I moved to another place out of Florida, and I moved to another place, and I remember I was having the same thing with adjusting to the environment. So that's what's going on here. I'm just adjusting to the environment, and so whatever. But I did get some subtle hints on how to take care of my dry skin, and I appreciate that. How about that? All right. So anyway, love. I do this out of love. I'm doing what I'm doing out of love, and especially the love of my young ones, that are toddlers right now. So, in 50 years or so, if that, who knows what's going to happen. All right. There's things that were prophesied to happen, and there were things that were predicted to happen. And when they prophesize, that gives you an opportunity to resolve it. But however, when things become predictions, you can't resolve it. It's done. It's going to happen, right? We all understand that what predictions are. Just look it up. No religious connotations, though. Like I said, just see if you can release your ego, release your being personally attached to things, and kind of open yourself up to possibilities to help you cope with actual reality and take us out of our fantasies and out of our delusions, right? So I said I'm doing this out of love, and I am, honey. Let me tell you, this is about love. And the thing about me, I told you, and this is not to offend anyone. Please don't take it the wrong way. But it's hard. It's so hard to not offend people, because a lot of people just get offended because they can't suspend their ego, and everything's about them. They take everything so personal. Everything is about them. Oh my God, are they talking about me? Are they talking about me? And then they, get all offended, and they start going back and forth with people, back and forth, and I don't deal with that online. But I'll respond back to you. If you got a question for me, I'll respond back to you. But I'm not going to be, because discussion and conversation is not arguing and debating. And I will not participate in debating or arguing with no one. Okay? I remember when I was on the streets, as a first responder. And some people, like I said, some people are just on the outside looking in, and they have no idea what's going on. Okay? No idea. Prior to that, I used to work indoors as a call taker, 911 call taker. And oh my God, the kind of calls that will come in. And that was an excellent experience as well. But it was just too much for me, because I can't not deal with so much coming in my ear like that, all that not carrying on, but all those kind of calls coming in my ear, because a lot of it, most of the time, were non-emergencies. All right, no, I mean, if anybody, okay, just listen to what I said. Most of the calls that used to come into the call center were non-emergency. Okay, but every now and then, while we're dealing with non-emergency situations, because we had to answer non-emergency call, like, cats being stuck on the roof, those kind of things. And then we had people that would call in and prank us. They were pranking us even back then, and this was in the middle 90s, okay, in the middle 1990s. They were pranking us even back then. Now it's called swatting, I guess. I don't know. It's more extreme now. And that's how things That's the cause and effect, which a lot of people are just so muddled in understanding that. There's a cause and effect. You cause something, it affects something else down the line, and it becomes extreme if you don't resolve it and make it right. And everything's energy. The pendulum, the boomerang is energy and sound and tones as well. Okay? Now, but like I said, most of the calls that would come in were non-emergency. So at some point it got stressful because they were calling on the emergency line for non-emergencies. So that means that if we thought there was an emergency come in, we had to make sure that we would respond and answer quickly, and and get it out so that the police or sheriff or whatever can get to the situation and resolve it. So, like I said, a lot of people just did not understand cultures. And in my opinion, and these are my opinion, they can care less. They knew it all. All right, I told you about law enforcement. Law enforcement has nepotism, okay, and it has these know-it-alls, and it was based on the premises, and no one wants to admit it. It was based on the premises of white supremacy, nepotism, the good old boys club. Okay, yet at the same time, that still exists today. It's more subversive and hidden, and then also a lot of other good-hearted, good-minded, well-rounded people started coming into the career, like myself and others. I know others that are fantastic people, wonderful, all races, cultures. Okay, but there's still that stain is there. That stain is there. That stain of white supremacy, nepotism, good old boys club, okay, is there. And not understanding different cultures. Okay, they do not understand different cultures. And so we used to get calls like this all the time. They're about to fight. Okay, now for me, I'm thinking, okay, what the hell does that mean if somebody's about to fight? Are they fighting or not? Okay, so we used to get that kind of stuff. Or things like this. Okay, there's a black man walking down the sidewalk and he looks suspicious. Really? What does that mean? So that kind of thing was happening. I think they were attempting to resolve it. I got out of that field of 911 because like I told you, it became too stressful for me, and I didn't like sitting inside. I just didn't, that drove me insane. Just sitting inside and listening to phone calls and talking to people, I couldn't do it. So I got out, and when I got on the road, oh my goodness, what a opening that was for me. That was where I needed to be among people, among humans, okay, and interacting with humans, whether it was good, bad, or otherwise. All right, it was most of the time it was neutral, actually, except when certain people will come in and always threatening my job. Okay, I'm gonna go to the mayor. I'm gonna go to the city council. There were those types, and I describe who they were. I'm not gonna say it again. They were the ones always going after my job. But the ones in the community that I was dealing with were questioning my job, which they had every right to. Okay, why are you in my neighborhood? Why are you this and why are you that? And when I explained it, when they realized what my intentions were, okay, they apologized to me, because a lot of them got in my face when I was coming through that particular neighborhoods, because I had promised this elderly woman in the neighborhood that I was going to clean up her area. Okay, and so those that were there, that lived there, all right, didn't understand why the hell I was there, why I was placing ordinance, tickets on their cars, this and that and the other, attempting to pass ordinances that's on the books. So I had every right to be there, and I was asked to come out there and help to clean up this woman's neighborhood that elderly, just retired, possibly, and then she had this beautiful home that was hidden by all this ordinance violation. So I did that. I cleaned it up. But the only thing that bothered me is that instead of homes coming into the area, because some homes did, there was some city councils that really cared about the area because they came from the area. They brought in some home and housing for people, but then still these cookie cutter businesses love coming in the neighborhood too. Cookie cutter convenience stores, will always show up as well. So maybe the neighborhood appreciate it, but I doubt it. I think they prefer a grocery store instead of convenience stores. Okay, that's something to consider. But anyway, about love. All right. Like I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody that knows me, but I said this before. Love. I know what love is. Okay, and I know what type of love. I know that there's different forms of love because love is action and behavior, not words per se. So because I told you I had family members, and I'm not gonna say who, but anyway, they said that a certain parent never said that they loved them, and I thought that was so contradicting to me. It just didn't make any sense. It's action and behavior. What the hell does she need to say that she loves you? She could have thrown you out on the street. That's what I'm saying. That kind of trauma that we individually sometimes place on ourselves. To say that your mom didn't love you? Are you kidding me? Okay, and I was there all the time watching how she was interacting with all of us. She treated us all the same. I'm talking about my family member. So, by the way, like I said, if they're listening, okay, good. That's why I made the page. Come on, and if you got something to say to me, say it. It's open. You have audience. Okay, say it to me. All right? Or whatever you plan to do. Okay, I stayed around on the East Coast long enough to clear up as much as I could with people. If I had any kind of issues with anyone, I made sure all that stuff was cleared up as best I can. I'm not going to sit around and wait for people to accept my hand to resolve things. I'm not going to do it. I don't have time for it. So, love. Like I said, I know what love is because my parents modeled it for me. Okay, love is regardless of your gender, your race. Love is love, and it's action and behavior. From my experiences, and like I said, my modeling of what it means to love somebody. Okay, and it is thick and thin, sickness and health, till death do you part. But you don't have to use those vows. You can create your own, that, right? And make it clear up front what you're not going to tolerate, whether we're married or not. You have that right to do so. You don't have to accept traditions or customs of anything. Okay? So, like I said, I know what love is. And I know when I was in my young, puppy love, we always say that, when I used to write, because I used to write letters to people and talking about I love them. And no, I didn't say I love them. I rarely, if to my knowledge, said to someone I love them unless they told me they love me first. I'm just going to be honest with you, because I never, it was not said in our home, but I knew what love was and I know what love is. So my parents didn't have to say that. I just could not imagine my dad ever having to say that. His actions and behaviors proved it. And he was the masculine man in the house. Which has nothing to do with gender, by the way, but anyway. And my mom was the feminine woman in the house. So, love. So what I do is out of love. Okay, and I know what love is. And I know what love isn't. And so when people used to say to me, I love you, I was like, oh, okay. Well, I can remember that I pissed people off with that. Because they were like, okay, I should have said it back to them. But I didn't feel like I needed to. It makes sense to say that back. Well, you know why? Because it was just platonic love. It was just a platonic interactions. Okay, and this is not to offend anyone that I have known and maybe gone out with. What we had was platonic friendship type of love. It wasn't the love that I subsequently learned from my parents. Okay, and that kind of bonding and partnership and marriage they had. Okay, and how they had to put up with each other. Like I said, sorry about that. Like I said, it was a complicated, okay, There was good and bad, but there was complications. Okay, there was love, definitely love in the house. I mean, I felt it. I sensed and received it as well. But there was definitely complications. Okay, there was some, there was possible addictions, whatever they were. And all I'm saying is that, you know, a lot of us just don't know what love is. Okay, and it's not what someone says it to you. Even though it's nice to hear, I know it. I get it. I get it now. Okay, but wouldn't you want someone to say they love you if they truly, when I say that it's platonic, meaning that it wasn't the type of intimacy that I wanted. And if I hadn't married these people, I would have divorced them. Just, because that is not what the type of love that I visualize and that I want. If I say so my point is this: if I say I love somebody, it doesn't mean anything more than that. You don't have to love me at all, and I don't have to see you either. If I make arrangements to meet up, that's one thing. But I don't have to do anything else other than that, because I know what it is and I know what it isn't. Okay, and what it is not desperation. It's not no obsessiveness. It's not factuation. Love is love, and it's action and behavior, not words. But I know it's nice to hear. People like to hear that. So, and so that goes for family members. So, my point is this: I know what I love. And I know who I love, but that doesn't mean anything else more than that. Okay, it doesn't mean that we need to, that we can even get together, or get back together. And that's I'm saying that out to my family, and more so my family, extended family, blah blah blah. Okay, one thing I will say that I know that I love, and I love my nieces and nephews. I know that, I know it. And my young cousins, these young ones, these toddlers, God, because I know it's going to be difficult for all of them. I know it will be, for the descendants of this planet. Okay, I know it. I sense it and receive it, and we all do. Okay, we all sense and receive it. So I do this. That's what I do. Okay, now. I'm not going to talk about my personal life as far as that's concerned, because I do value privacy. But I know a lot of people kind of have their opinions about how you share that kind of stuff, because everybody wants to know who you fucking. That's the end all. Who's in your goddamn bedroom and who you're fucking? Okay, that's the fascination and the obsession and the degeneracy. I know that. I know that certain things were happening that I had to handle to keep my privacy in this space too. Even though there's no guarantee that I even have it still. Because people want to know who will I be fucking. That's what people want to know. Or who am I fucking, or who are you fucking? Okay, that's that degeneracy I told you about. No one genuinely cares about anything else right now. So there's a lot to resolve. Of course, there's a lot to resolve. But I'm good. Like I said, I'm good, and I'm so thankful that I recognized what was going on first before I, started doing certain other things. I have to make sure that whoever comes in my environment is protected. Okay, whether they are friends, family, or otherwise. Okay, and people, like I said, people love to listen to conversations, eavesdrop on conversations, and knowing what everybody's talking about, and what mostly like how are they fucking. That's the main thing. Okay, and rather than worrying about nuclear, and I'm talking about in the pyramid too. They have these devices on everybody's phone where they can eavesdrop on your conversation. They'll deny it, of course. Okay, and But no, they're not concerned about nuclear weapons, right? And why we are constantly in war and battle with each other since my parents, and this is going on, almost what? I'm 50, this almost 200 years. Let's just say that almost 200 years. Okay, but yet it's been going on for longer than that, and we know that since our so-called founding fathers, and I'm going to address that too at a later date as well, about these so-called founding fathers that some of us still hold dear, but don't have a clue of what these founding fathers were thinking. Otherwise, we wouldn't still be in war today. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. Allow this stuff to upload. But like I said, I got a video coming out that's gonna it's I don't know. I guess it's long, but it's gonna introduce a term, and it's similar to melancholy. Okay, and so it may offend some, but that's not my intentions to offend. But like I said, if you're gonna poke the bear, today I'm the bear. Okay, and I wanted to talk about this, but I wanted to wait until the dust was actually there's no more dust in the air. How about that? Okay, that the dust has settled more so. Okay, so yeah, so it's taking a little while, but that's fine. I got that time, baby. So I just want to send I want to send peace and love to everyone all over the stars and moon and mountains. And trust me, I will be back.